Myles Garrett contract change sparks trade talk as Brown's decision raises questions across NFL. Myles Garrett is not being traded, at least that is the message coming out of Cleveland. The Browns have been emphatic on that point following a contract adjustment that quickly drew attention across the league. Internally, the move has been framed as a cap decision designed to create flexibility. Across the NFL, though, the reaction has been different. Front offices tend to read structure before statements, and this is the type of change that usually carries meaning. Whether intentional or not, Cleveland just made a move that keeps every option on the table. What the Cleveland Browns changed in Myles Garrett contract structure. No new deal was signed, and no money was removed. Instead, the Browns adjusted the timing of key option bonuses built into Garrett's existing contract. The most significant figure is a $29.2 million option bonus tied to 2026, which has now been pushed from the start of the league year in March to just before the regular season. Similar timing changes were applied to future years. That shift delays when Cleveland is financially committed, giving the organization more time before major cash obligations hit. Why NFL teams viewed the Myles Garrett contract change as a potential trade signal. Timing is everything in NFL contracts. If the Browns were to move Garrett before that September trigger date, the acquiring team would take on the bulk of the 2026 cash, including the $29.2 million bonus. That structure makes a trade cleaner and more appealing from Cleveland's side. Delaying the trigger also allows that bonus to be prorated over future seasons by a new team, lowering the immediate cap burden. Those are not abstract mechanics. Around the league, that is exactly how contracts are kept movable. Garrett's contract adds another layer. He holds a full no-trade clause, meaning any deal would require his approval. Even if the Browns change direction, they would not control the outcome alone. Myles Garrett's comments on winning add context to the Browns' contract decision. Garrett's own words are part of the backdrop. He has made it clear that his focus is on competing for a Super Bowl, pushing back on any framing that centers long-term legacy over immediate contention. A rebuild has never been part of that vision. That stance does not force a move, but it shapes how situations like this are viewed both inside and outside the organization. Cleveland Browns roster and cap situation fuels outside Myles Garrett trade questions. Cleveland is not operating from a position of clarity. A 5-win season exposed issues across the roster, particularly on offense. The quarterback situation remains unsettled, while the financial impact of Deshaun Watson's deal continues to affect long-term flexibility. Recent restructures have created short-term room while pushing larger cap consequences into future seasons. That combination, uncertain direction and complex finances, is often where speculation begins. Myles Garrett stats and contract value show what the Browns would risk in any trade. Garrett's value is not theoretical. He recorded 23 sacks in 2025, one of the most productive seasons ever for an edge rusher. His career total sits at 125.5 sacks, along with multiple Defensive Player of the Year awards and consistent All-Pro production. He is also tied to a 4-year, $160 million extension worth $40 million annually, with more than $120 million guaranteed. Any move involving that level of production and financial commitment would immediately become one of the biggest defensive trades in league history. Why this Myles Garrett contract move keeps trade options open for the Browns. Contract restructures happen across the league every offseason. This one stands out because of how it was done. By pushing bonus deadlines closer to the season, Cleveland delayed its financial commitment while preserving a structure that can be transferred to another team if needed. That does not mean a trade is coming. It does mean the pathway remains intact. For now, the Browns insist nothing is changing. Around the league, the contract suggests something slightly different, not a plan but a possibility. In the ever-evolving chess match of the NFL, few moves are as subtle and as explosive as a contract adjustment. When the Cleveland Browns quietly reworked the deal of superstar pass rusher Myles Garrett, it seemed like routine financial housekeeping. But in a league where every dollar signals intent, the ripple effects were immediate. Trade rumors ignited, contenders took notice, and once again, the Browns found themselves at the center of a debate that stretches far beyond Cleveland. Garrett is no ordinary player. A two-time Defensive Player of the Year and the NFL's single-season sack record holder with 23, he represents the gold standard of defensive dominance. Yet, his individual brilliance has not translated into team success. The Browns' disappointing 5-12 season, combined with ongoing instability at quarterback, has created a disconnect between elite talent and organizational direction. That tension is the backdrop against which this contract change must be understood. On paper, the restructuring appears logical. The Browns pushed back option bonus deadlines and reshaped future salary into roster bonuses, giving both Garrett and the franchise more financial flexibility. For the team, it opens pathways to manage the salary cap more effectively. For Garrett, it ensures favorable payment timing. But beneath the surface, the move does something far more provocative. It makes a potential trade easier to execute. In the NFL, flexibility is rarely neutral. When a front office creates room to maneuver, it invites speculation about why that room is needed. Almost immediately, analysts and insiders began connecting the dots. A restructured deal, a frustrated superstar who had previously requested a trade, and a team searching for identity. The conclusion, for many, was unavoidable. This was not just accounting. It was preparation. Teams across the league reacted accordingly. Contenders like the San Francisco 49ers, Buffalo Bills, and Philadelphia Eagles were quickly linked to Garrett as a potential final piece for a championship run. The logic is simple. Elite pass rushers are among the rarest commodities in football, and Garrett may be the best of his generation. For a contender, acquiring him could shift the balance of power overnight. Yet the reality is far more complicated. The Browns have publicly insisted they are not trading Garrett, emphasizing that the contract change was purely